Well, Mr. Canfield, I know you're pressed for time, but do you have a few minutes to join in our new segment called New Book, Old Book? Would you like to read it?
Absolutely.
All right. All right, so over the summer, we weeded out a lot of books that were older here, hadn't been used. But I put some to the side, and also we got some new books in. So, Jerry, Eason, and Mr. Canfield, what do you think about this book? Is it a new book, an old book, and would you read it? Air Force One. I could pass it around.
Yeah.
My first reaction is I would read it. I was a social studies teacher for 15 years. This draws my attention immediately, and I'm fascinated with Air Force One.
Me too.
Okay. So we also have to.
Yeah.
I would say it's an old book.
Old
I would
book,
say.
okay.
I mean, I'm looking at the material. It reminds me of back in my day. So I would definitely say it's an old
Which day
book.
was that?
Yesterday.
Okay.
As far as wanting to read it, I would say yeah, because I'm new to military technology. I feel like it's really important as a citizen to understand it as well. So I would say I would read it. How about you?
I don't know. I think it's an old book for sure. Like some of these pictures back here, but and just like the quality of like the font. I know that kind of sounds weird, but the quality looks a little bit older. But I would definitely this is like a class assignment. Like if we had to do research about something, I think I would check out this book. So.
It is an old book,
It
but
is an old book.
I like it. It's a classic. Anything with Air Force One, I'm with Mr. Canfield. All right, Jerry, I'm going to let you handle this one because you have
history
experience.
with
You have
it, yeah.
a history with that book.
I actually just bought my friend
could you
this
just tell
book.
us the name of that book?
It's called Ellie Haycock is Totally Normal by Gretchen Scherber, I think that's how you pronounce her name.
That's what it says.
But actually, I think I would definitely read this book. I'm going to check this out probably after this episode because it says like Breakfast Club meets 5 Feet Apart, which is a really weird comparison, but I'm quite intrigued. So what about you?
This gives off like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but without pictures kind of vibe. It gives off old middle school, like you were bullied if you didn't have this book. Back when we used to read books. I would read this.
You still don't read now?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
I read subtitles.
We're still on that.
What
Okay.
about you?
Is it new or old?
New subtitles.
No, the book.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my fault. I think it's new.
Okay.
I do.
Well,
think it's
the
new.
first thing that comes to my mind is Reese Witherspoon. Okay, so I know her as an actress, so I'm connecting at that point. But would I read this book? I would probably pass. I think my daughters would have a good time reading this book, but I would probably pass on this book. Is it an old new? I would say it's a newer book than Air Force One.
Yes, it's one of our newest books to the collection. We did get over 300 books. You, the people, filled out the survey last year, which I'll send out to the whole school again. And this was one of the books that was actually requested. And Mr. Canfield has his... Why don't you take that one?
Yeah, I'll do this. John Steinbeck. I just know that author. Not much, but I've read a couple of his books. The Red Pony. It's short.
Okay. Short but
Easy-
sweet.
Easy to read. I can read it within a day or so. This attracts me just because the picture here. You know, not that I ever handled horses or dealt with horses, but it just seems like it draws me to it. It seems like it's a fun time, a good time of your age at that point. Whatever's going on in this story, I think it would be a good adventure that this young boy is going to have here with his horse. So I would definitely probably read something like this. I'll pass it.
Okay. Do you think it's old or new?
I would say old.
I would say old too. Off the vibe, I like the Caillou borders. There is no border. I think this might be a story of a boy becoming a man.
Yep.
I think this is kind of like you're on a train to go visit your grandpa, and you want a good, quick book to read in 30 minutes before you have to hop off. What do you
Yep,
think?
I
I
like
think
it.
it's old.
I think it's old too. I probably wouldn't read this just because it's so small. Like it's really small writing, but it looks interesting. Like, I think it's like a what's it called, like a found story or like young adult
It could
Founding
be.
yourself or whatever. I think it's
Becoming
called.
of age.
Coming of
Yeah,
Yeah.
becoming of age.
Yeah.
So it just like looks like a little boy with his little horse. So raised on a ranch in Northern California. So definitely
you
takes
go.
place outside or something
Salinas.
of that.
Yeah, one of my
Sweet.
favorites of Mice and Men. Have you read that one?
No, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
though.
that's another Steinbeck classic. Grapes of Wrath. So yeah, this is an older one, but it's marked as a classic here. So you could get this book and all these books in the library. All right, one last one here. Mr. Canfield and I are former social studies teachers. I have started a new collection. Of course, we have the mangas, right? The Japanese anime. But we also now have graphic novels that are history related. So these are actually comics. And this is called The Daring Women of D-Day. Mr. Canfield?
Let me take a look. Ooh, well, it feels new because it's never been opened before. So let me take a look here. You know, I'm going to use the word comics, just that's what comes to my head when you're dealing
Right.
with that. I've never been into comics, but I think that this would be a fascinating book. The words are simplified. It's not a massive paragraph that you're trying to work through and discover exactly what they're speaking. You could get through it pretty easily. It's, once again, it's not that long, so you can get this done in a couple hours, if that. But I would actually be interested in this compared to other comics where it's kind of overwhelming to me with comics. There's just a lot going on, and it kind of turns me off a little bit. This one seems more simplified, if that makes sense. So
Right.
I would say it's a new book, and it is something that I'd be interested in.
Right. I can fully understand where you're coming from when it comes to comics. Because, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But with comics, you kind of have to read 50
Right. And follow it all.
just to understand. Yeah. This gives off you're trying to teach your kids about the olden days, but they're too addicted to their phone, so they need to look at something.
You need
I would
to
read this.
visualization, graphics, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you need graphics and good storytelling. Oh, look at that. They even got the
Kaboom.
onomatopoeias. We learned that in English class. I would read this. I think it's a new book, definitely, though.
It is.
I
Sorry.
think it's a new book too. I'm really into history, it's my favorite subject, and I also like reading historical fiction a lot. And I've read World War II books, and I've enjoyed them really immensely. So I wouldn't read this right now, but 2 years ago when I was middle school, I would definitely read. I loved reading comic books and things of this sort, and I just love learning about this time period, especially from another perspective too.
How can
in
we get you
depth.
to read it? And I know you're very creative. You started the was it the One Canyon? Or
It's a library project we did, yeah.
for Nevada Reading Week, I'm going to call on you to come up with some ideas for contests, reading contests.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Last year, I think you.
Yeah, I
you
did win one of them.
You,
Yeah.
you submitted. Was it the poetry one or? Yeah. So maybe we could have one just for historical graphic novels or something.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'll
I would definitely check out this book.
I'll seek your advice on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right. Well, I think the bell's about to ring.
2 minutes.
Eason, Jerry, you want to send us off here? I want to thank
Absolutely.
Mr. Campfield first and foremost for coming on. I know your schedule's very busy. I had to cancel last Thursday. I was sick. Sorry about that, everyone. But thanks for all coming in today.
Well, and I just want to say, are we doing this every week? Because I really enjoy speaking to everybody here. I don't know, every week if it's possible, but at least once a month, giving you guys updates, letting the students know what's the happenings on the campus, any questions students might have that you can relay to me. I want to keep that dialogue continuing with the students on our campus. And I just really enjoy the perspective of what you provide me, even the feedback of the cell phones or the IDs. I want to hear that because a lot of the perspective I get is from, staff or teachers, right? But I want to hear the student perspective. You guys are in the ground front of everything. You guys are handling it in the classroom, right? So I would love to have a minimum of a monthly conversation and maybe collect questions throughout the month that you can that we can have a good hour conversation about to answer some questions students might have. But I appreciate you guys inviting me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
for
mean,
coming up here.
Principal's Corner is a fixture here, so absolutely you're welcome anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Student perspective I have now is I'm glad you're the principal, because now that you're at the top, you're going to be looked at from the staff and students, and the energy, creativity, and loyalty and pride you bring to the students and the school itself will definitely trickle down to the staff. And once it trickles down to the staff, it's going to trickle down to the students. And that's how we grow.
Yeah, we like
Amazing.
seeing a familiar face, because I
Yeah.
think if someone else came in here, we'd be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
But we already know you, so we're all familiar with you, and it's more comfortable.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and let's have a great rest of the year.
Absolutely.
All right. And shout out to Brody, our sound man.
Good job, guys.
Excellent job. No crashing. Nothing crashed today. So you did an awesome job. And we sound okay? All right.
Where's the cameras at?
Oh, it's right there.
A little webcam.
Yeah, we need to.
But is it getting us right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wide enough.
Seems like it's pointing over there, but okay. I know you guys have a whole operation.
It's a
All right.
pretty complicated one.
Awesome. Well, thank
Thanks.
you
We'll
guys.
see you next time.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later.